outcrops right along through this park. And in fact, the park is here to keep houses from being on top of the fault. So if the earthquake were to happen, you don't want to have your house ripped in half like happened in '71. And to prevent that, we've had the Aquas Priola Act. And this is a Aquas Priola Park. So right here, we are standing somewhere very near where the Whittier Fault comes out. Yeah, as you go on through here, look at this large backyard, though. It's a pretty large space here between the houses. That's, again, trying to avoid it. So if there were to be any offset coming on from this earthquake, you'd expect perhaps to see a little bit of cracking in the road right here. It's often easier to see it in the brittle material of the road, especially because this earthquake is 12 kilometers deep. It's only a 5.4. That means the fault is only a couple miles across. That means the rupture in this earthquake doesn't extend up to the surface. It was too deep to be coming all the way up here. You sometimes, though, see secondary cracking because you've disturbed the fault. You're not going to see that level in regular dirt, but in the brittle material of the road, you might have a chance of seeing something. So far, there doesn't seem to be really anything around here.
The meaning of it, you talked about the fact that after Northridge, we really haven't had a lot of 5s in Southern California, particularly in the urban area. This could be an anomaly. It could be the start of something. What might it be?
Well, the last 15 years has been extraordinarily quiet compared to the long-term history of Southern California. And at some point, that quiet period has to end. And this is about the time we would expect it to end. Just as 15 years is about the longest we've seen it in previous earthquakes, or previous cycles.
Right. If there is an uptick in the number of 3.0 quakes that occur here in the coming months, might that mean that it's going back into a more active period where you'll see more 5s?
Yeah. I would expect. I've been sort of waiting for it to happen. It's been so quiet. At some point, we have to start having our 3s and 4s, and then the 5s and 6s that go with them. And so it was really quiet for the 90s. It started to pick up. We had the Hector Mine earthquake, and then it went even lower than before. And the early 2000s was the quietest, the fewest numbers of 3s in Southern California ever that we've recorded since we started recording 70 years ago. So this is, it's been this very, very quiet period, and I haven't tracked it. It's not something you can tell by just looking at the last week or the last month or even the last few months. You really need to do statistics because it's overall a random fluctuation, and I haven't checked recently to see really where we are.
Is there a fortunate upside in this? There doesn't appear to be major damage or injury, and it comes at a time when you're preparing for a major drill later in the fall?
I think that this is the perfect wake-up call for the Great Southern California Shakeout. What we are trying to do is get people prepared for the big earthquakes. This is not a big earthquake. This one scared us. It woke us all up, but really we're not talking any damage. And it's so much smaller. The big earthquakes we can talk about on the San Andreas could easily be 10,000 times more energy than this event. And just so many more people involved as well. And that's what it is that we've got to be concerned about and prepare for. Preparing for this isn't such a big deal, though we see the advantages here. This size earthquake has killed people in other places of the world, and even in 1990, the Upland earthquake, also 5.4, caused $40 million worth of damage. We're probably missing some stores that have product on the floor, and there's losses associated there. But these are all new construction. The new building codes have really made a difference.